Hello there everyone, I am Ben the Bold, and you are probably still you, and we are playing our Restless Germans campaign. Now, I did just want to do a quick recap. We can see that Carthage they're dominating North Africa of course, but you can see they're actually making a pretty strong little push into Iberia. Rome has locked down the Italian peninsula pretty well, but not done much expanding outside of that. Macedon has taken over most of Greece. Phrygia is still looking pretty strong, and well, the Seleucids, well, they are starting to fracture, and they would be looking a lot better if it wasn't for all of these restless Germans just sitting in their territory, waiting to burn down as much of the Seleucid heartland as they can. So we do have one army that is kind of coming to oppose us. There's 16,000 men there. Oh no, sorry, there is 1.6 thousand men there, so there's 1,600 men here. Alright, I'm not necessarily super worried about that, although I could be looking to at least put a general in charge of these 7,000 troops. I, of course, have lots of armies that don't have generals in charge. That's just because I have so many armies in general. I'm going to go ahead and press this unpause button. We are continuing to do work. We're just kind of trying to siege down as many provinces as we can real quick. I'll have you take on Durham. I don't necessarily want to do any fighting. In fact, I am honestly... Oh! There's 15,000 men. Let's take a look at the composition. So they have some heavy cavalry. Those heavy cavalry and camels and light cavalry... Alright, so this is not going to be an easy army to deal with. So let's go ahead and I think retreat. Retreat. Let's get you... All of these men need to be ready to move in at a moment's notice. I'm going to move these 19,000 men over as well. Ooh, it looks like we are actually going to fight here. So, these are plains. I could move you here. No, that's a very good general that the Seleucids have. Who are you? It's a very good general that the Seleucids have. I don't necessarily want to fight in the plains. I might just lose these 7,000 troops. I don't have a, what shall I do? I'm not really that concerned. I have so many troops that, but would it be worth it to go ahead and try to sue for peace? No, they don't want peace. We occupy so much of their territory. Not all that worried about losing those 7,000 men, and indeed, eventually I might just flip over and leave Seleucid territory in general. Although I think I'm definitely going to come down to these Seleucid little hotspots. I don't even know if the Seleucids can follow me here. But alas, this army of 15,000 men is going to be kind of annoying to deal with. Real quick, let's just go ahead and have our ruler get married. Good for you, good for you, good for you. I hope you had a lovely wedding day. Alright, so I think I am going to just start pushing... no. Nope. Alright, these 7,000 men are just going to go probably die. That's alright. We'll retreat them as soon as possible. Alright, and now we will just go ahead and retreat them all the way to here. So unfortunately, yeah, we lost 3,300 troops. That's not nothing. And it looks like the Seleucids are happy to run away now. Alright, perfect. I'm actually going to go ahead and just retreat to my side, to this other side of this river. I think we are about ready to move on from Seleucid territory, honestly. Let's just real quick grab what we can. I'm going to raise this city, or I could get a bunch of gold. Yeah, I'll raise it. Perfect. And now, I think I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to actually just retreat you to Girsu. And these 39,000 men can come towards... Aragan? Alright, and we will just kind of let them have what's... We'll let them siege back everything on this side of that river. And in the meantime, we are going to try to run away to this territory, which does not seem to be accessible by the Seleucids, so hopefully we'll be able to grab it in the pretty quickly. I would love to actually just continue this siege, especially since we're kind of close to getting it. I'm not worried about these 2,000 men. I'll move these 19,000. They can make their way. Raise you. Tell you what, there are certainly a bunch of armies here. Come on, yes, alright, perfect. We have captured their capital, Seleucia Megal pillaged. After the siege of Seleucia Megal, Agranaric Gundred let troops run riot, resulting in murder, rape, and theft. Well, we are restless Germanians after all. The wealth that Agramaic has gained from this evil act is beyond compare, and our advisors suggest that he is now one of the richest people in our land. Ooh, we don't have a land, but he's one of the richest people in our kind of migratory cohort. Our migratory horde, that is. So, even deserters previously resident in Seleucia Megal are flocking to join Agranaric. Despite his popular acclaim, we should consider punishing him for these dastardly actions. Nah, let it go, man. So he'll gain some loyal troops, or he'll lose a bunch of loyalty. We're going to let that go. Alright, so we've won the siege. What happens? Well, he gains a little bit of popularity. There were 23 pops captured, and they've been distributed as slaves. Well, that's honestly not that great, because... I mean, oh my gosh, 142 pops? Wow. Alright, part of me wants to grab this, settle it with just a zam ton of pops, and then move all those 142, then eventually migrate and turn all those 142 pops into loyal Germanic citizens. But that would mean I would have to settle half my army at this point. I mean, how many pops do I have? How many cohorts do I have? I have 443 cohorts. I could add another 145 to that. It's going to cost me a bunch of stability to do that. I would, of course, have to take the city. They still don't want to have peace with me. Well, regardless, I know I'm going to... Let's go ahead and desecrate the holy sites. And... yeah, and I think for now I will just move on? Alright, so it says that I can't raise the city, which honestly would only give me 2.5 civic and 2.5 religious advance. Where am I technology-wise with the... Interesting. Alright, so... I could do it. It would... Well, no, I actually can't do it right now, because I believe I just need to have more pops in the army. Because, I mean, it wouldn't make sense to be able to raise a city with 30,000 men when you had 140,000 civilians there. Well, I definitely want to get peace with the Seleucids. They only have 27 cohorts. They seem to be fighting a war on a whole lot of fronts, although it looks like they are occupying Parkishkak. Yeah, that's how you pronounce that. Parkishkak. We'll go ahead and have you raise. And can you raise? No, you just raised. Alright. I will at least have these two armies head southward. Although I want to make sure I don't just have someone sitting here too long. Alright, so for now I'm not going to do anything except for just resupply my food. My army here, because, well, you need a lot more food. So I'm going to resupply my forces here, but I'm actually just not going to worry about the Seleucid capital quite yet. And instead, I'm going to kind of have my forces divided a little bit. Perfect, we're going to take control of this siege. I'm going to kind of just divide my force a little bit, have them take some land. Now I'll have you raise. How are you looking technology-wise? Let's see, so we're 75% of the way there. So we need to add 25, really a little bit over 25 progress, and every single time we do it, we're getting 2.5. Alright, so we need to do it like 11 more times. That math might be accurate. I guess we could assign a new title. How about War Chief? You get that. Doesn't do anything, but we'll put you up there. Oh, we need a researcher. Well, do we though? Yep, sure, I'll put you there. Go ahead and raise. I do feel like I have burned down the Seleucid homeland, that's for sure. You're still resupplying your army. We'll go ahead and actually move northward with these armies. I know this is a little risky because there is that large Seleucid force. I mean, they only had 15,000 men. We vastly outnumber that. But the thing is, their troops are just so much better than mine. You've done your raising. I guess you can continue marching. These places where I'm taking right now, 7, 11, 4, 3. Yeah, so these are really sparsely populated areas. Okay, perfect. So very different than like if I were to try to siege down or just capture Babylon. Or, I mean, look at this city. 141 pops. Yes, please. I'll take all of them. Eventually. Maybe. We'll see. I think I'm currently working my... Just for those of you who maybe this is your first episode, I started out as the Varnian tribe right here on the Baltic coast. I then took over this whole little swath of Germany. And then I decided, you know what? It's cold up here. We're going to migrate to the Black Sea. We got bogged down a little bit too long in the Black Sea region, especially right here. We actually lost a few wars. Things were not looking up, and then we decided to go full migratory. We just migrated away from every single territory we had, and we just kind of went on the warpath. We burned and pillaged a lot of the Balkans. We burned and pillaged up here in northern Anatolia, and now we are down here in the Seleucid heartland, and we control the Seleucid heartland. I mean, this is some of the best territory our Restless Germanians have ever seen, and we, I think, are for now working our way down towards India. I don't necessarily want to take on the Marians. The Marians have lots of cohorts, don't want to deal with that, but I think I might come down here and eventually try to just completely settle, you know, temporarily completely settle Sri Lanka. I just think it could be fun to have a tribe of Germans turn Sri Lanka into, you know, a Germanic culture. And then we'll, of course, migrate again and start making our way back towards some of the major powers. We're going to let Rome kind of grow, and I think, you know, maybe finish out the series by raising Macedon and Rome, or, well, you know what, we'll just see what happens. In the meantime, we're just trying to gain more tech by raising. So unfortunately, I'm not gaining as much tech by raising anymore. It's just not as lucrative, I guess. Still 1.82, that's not terrible. I want to keep an eye out for the Seleucid armies. I love the name of this province, Tel Gubba. Can't even raise that city. Raise you. Raise you. Oh, looks like some barbarians are coming. I don't want to get bogged down with barbarians, but looks like I'm going to, so I at least want to make sure I win the fight. Oh, it would have helped to have a general. We don't actually have any generals around, so looks like we're going to fight this fight without a general on our side. Very disorganized, but we are going to win. Unfortunately, every 1,000 men we lose, we actually lose a pop, so we aren't going to gain them back. They kind of auto-consolidate. These migratory pops, they like auto-consolidate, so I believe they do, at least. I'm pretty sure that's what's been happening. So while we do have the largest army in the world right now, yeah, we only have we have currently 436. So we will have to do some settling to try to make up some of the men that we just lost there. In the meantime, we are certainly doing a decent job raising. Interesting. You've gained inflammation. I'm sorry, man. Alright, we've got to be getting close, right? 92.95% there. Now we should be a little over 94. Yeah, 95. Alright, so just a few more provinces. We're looking good. We also still have not found their army yet, which is good. How many troops do you have currently? So they still have 27 cohorts. That's not nothing. Alright, so it appears that we can we're no longer going to be able to tech up from the Seleucids. We have completely caught up with them. So look at our little restless Germans. They are just as teched up as the Seleucid Empire. Wow. Good job for them. Also, because we have 0 pops, because all of our pops are currently soldiers, we can just go ahead and grab all of these inventions. Now, are these inventions useful to us with 0 pops? No. But they're all free, so why not grab them, right? Alright, and I do think it's time for us to go ahead and figure out the Seleucid problem. We need to figure out how we are going to eventually move on from the Seleucid Empire, and I think I'm going to do it by destroying the Seleucid homeland. So, even though I can raise you, but it's just going to just destroy some of your civilization. So instead, I'm just going to go for gold. Alright, so we're just grabbing some gold. We are actually losing gold per turn. How's that possible? Army maintenance? We don't really have an army, do we? Oh, we actually do. Yeah, but I can delete you. Any other armies? Unfortunately, we have had to leave some of our clan armies behind, like down here as well. Well, you're actually Black Flag, so you can come wherever you want. But we've had to leave some of our clan armies behind. I guess you're Black Flag too, so you can go wherever you want as well. Actually, no, you can't. So you're just stuck there. Cool. I'll disband you. Is that... And can I disband you? Perfect. But yeah, we have to leave our armies behind at some point because whenever we are not at war, we just kind of... All of our migratory pops, they can kind of go wherever they want to. And so, indeed, they do go wherever they want to. Alright. So, we need to figure out how we're going to get out of this war with the Seleucids. We could just move on. I think, though, it would be better to instead take some territory from them. And specifically, I have to have more than 139 migrants here to do this. What if I just took this? So, like, what if I just came here, took this city with these 30,000, and then in the war, could I potentially grab their capital? So this is a little risky. I'm actually going to settle here. Hey, we have a new Swebium, and we have also a new army that I'm just going to... Well, I'm just going to disband them. No, I'm not. One thing I really am glad that Paradox has finally implemented is that whenever you disband a unit, we will restore some of our manpower. That's not super important for this playthrough, but it's just something that has bugged me ever since, I guess EU4 is when I really started to get annoyed, because sometimes you're playing as those like Prussia, or, you know, say you start out as Brandenburg in EU4, and you're up here, and you're like struggling with your economy, and you build up a large army, you go to war, and then you're like, well, I really can't afford to keep it, so I'm just gonna like delete 1 or 2 units. But you also are struggling with manpower, and you maybe have like 3,000 manpower, and you delete 2 units, and you're like, I really wish those 2 units would go back into my manpower pool. Because you'd think that at least some of them would. You know, like it's, hey, the army stands down, and now you get more troops or back in your manpower pool, because you could call on them conceivably again. Alright, so we have grabbed this little province. Are they going to accept that? No. Definitely not. Why would they ever accept that? Alright, so they're not going to give me their capital. I guess that's okay. I understand. We'll just have to try to raise it on our way back. They would give us these 3 little places. Well, that's not very good at all. 4, 5... I guess I could also just settle all of these things. But again, this gets kind of risky because the more territory I settle here... Okay, the more territory I settle here, the less war score I will have. But I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Yeah, and you see they're already not wanting peace with me again. So, gonna hold off. Are you at least all in one province? No, you're not. Okay. Oh yeah, you are. All in the province of Sumer. In that case, I will just have to keep on capturing territory. I do think it's time for this war with the Seleucids to end. We have completely won, you know? Although we actually have not engaged them in a battle, but we have captured all of their homeland, taken their money, enslaved their population. And we're going to push more of their population towards the... Ooh, look at you. I see you up there. Those 18,000 men scare me. Although, I'm really not worried. Oh, let's get out of here. We unfortunately aren't. I'm just going to go ahead and sue for peace. Instead of losing those 6,000 men. Alright, so... we took some territory. I'll go ahead and just move these 6,000 men to there. Can I hit the migrate button with you? Yes, I can. Can I hit it again? Yes, I can. You have 5 pops, you have 4 pops. Alright, so I'm just going to... let's create a new unit. Have those 6 men come to Tel Aswad? Aswad? Ugh. Tel Aswad. Whoops. That was a weird name. You can come down here. Migrate. 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 We're gonna have to wait for a second and let our stability tick back up. You can settle. Migrate. Migrate. Alright, now you all of a sudden have 76,000 men here. Let's go ahead and just split that in half. And let's move you to land where you won't be eating your food. Gosh, I'm loving playing as a migratory horde. This is fantastic. So really we just lack the stability required to finish our migration, so I will have to just sit here and let my stability tick up. But we should think about where is the next place we are going to conquer as a people. You are out of food, so we need to sort this out. You need to go somewhere where you're not going to be taking attrition. Split you in half. Half of you will go here. The other half will go here. Alright. And again, we're just waiting for our stability to tick back up before we eventually move on. And I think I'm going to just march towards India. Because I think that eventually I want to kind of run amok in here in the South Hindu region, the South Indus. First, I might go to Kishar though, and try to run a bunch of Kishar land, or maybe... Are you allied with anyone? Yeah, you are. Persepolis. Where are you? Alright, so I'm feeling pretty good, pretty good. We are just waiting to finish our... or grab a little bit more stability before we can migrate again. Can we migrate yet? Nope. One more month we'll be able to migrate that province. Let's go ahead and I think just grab everyone. And let's pick the next place we want to go. Is it worth it to go all the way here? We have 20 cohorts. You are guaranteed by Maria, so we don't really want to fight someone guaranteed by Maria. You are guaranteed by Pandia. Alright, so it seems like we probably have a nice little block of alliances here. You know what? Would it be worth it to just go ahead and come to Sri Lanka? It's a long walk for our roaming Germanians, but let's go ahead and do that. Alright, and so they are all just going to start heading towards Sri Lanka. In the meantime, I can finally migrate you, which means you are going to head towards Sri Lanka as well. And finally, I will just wait a few more months. Now, hopefully we don't run out of food on the way there. Maybe I should break up some of these larger armies. I'm not going to worry about it. We're going to gain all that back super quick. One more month, maybe? No, a couple months I'll be able to tech up again. Let's check out how many pops we have. We are at 473. So that last war, we did end up gaining men. So we did grab a few more cohorts, and we're actually going to go ahead and grab another 10 more. So we're going to end up with almost 500 cohorts. The next highest is Phrygia with 151. We are absolutely dominating in the terms of army size. Now, we are going to take a lot of attrition, especially food attrition, walking our way across these deserts. But once we get to India, I think that will all be remedied. I would love to... I'll start out with Sri Lanka as a base of operations, and then I plan on moving in. I would love to just go ahead and start catching the world on fire, destroying all of these countries practically, because honestly I could go to war, grab some pops, go to war again, grab some pops, go to war again, grab some pops to the same country, because I'm not worrying about aggressive expansion. My aggressive expansion is at 231, but hey, how much does that really matter if I have 0 pops? Ooh, impatience is a virtue. He wants a job. Yeah, I can give you a job. I'll make you a general in charge of this army. There you go. And now you will head to Sri Lanka. This migration is actually going to be quite rough, I think. We have a new omen. Well, what are we thinking here? No real reason to go with national slave output. Yep, it looks like, once again, morale of armies seems to be the way we're going to go. It's been a notable death. I don't really care about this researcher. We'll put you in charge. Let's take a look at the country we are going to conquer. They are very well teched, so they are much better teched than us, which is good. That's going to allow us to tech up a little bit faster. Let's also look at the second to next country we're going to go for, which is Pandia. Alright, perfect. They are pretty much 4s everywhere. On the way, we're going to be... You still have just 2 tech level. You still have just 2 tech level. Where are you, Maria? Yep, still just 2. So we are just as teched as all of these countries. Alright. The only reason to go to war with them... Alright, well, let's look at you. Okay, it might actually be worth breaking off and Ooh, how kind. And attacking this country. The country of Boija. Yeah, I think that's actually where we're going to go next, because you are decently teched. You're a good halfway point, I think, between... You're on the other side of this desert, which is going to give us lots of attrition. You only have 14 cohorts. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and grab my armies. And we are going to go to Boija. That will also put us to war with Patinkia and Rathika. But those... While Rathika, we're not going to get any benefit for raising their territory, Patinka we will. Patinka has not chose any ideas. Interesting. Neither have you. Well, puzzling. You're also guaranteed by Alupa. Where's Alupa? Alupa's way down here. Alupa only has 15 cohorts. And poor tech level? Yeah. So we're going to start out with Boija. How many pops does Boija have? Could we just maybe fully annex them? Grab 261 more cohorts? Yeah, I think that might be a direction we try to go. So the way I see it, we will try to defeat all of these people. We'll separate piece out as many people as we can, and then we'll just capture all of Boija's land. Again, though, walking through these deserts is really killing us. I mean, let's see. We're still at 478 cohorts. All right. And I'll just go ahead and disband my troops. Getting there. Ooh, we have a new tribal chief. Unfortunately, our old dude has died. What a shame. I'm actually going to go to speed 5. I don't know why I didn't do that already. Man, we just have no food anymore. So we're really going to start taking a lot of that attrition now. Probably should have been going to war specifically just to grab food because... Oh my gosh, look at our cohorts just melting away. Oh, that was a huge mistake. Look at them just melting away now. Alright, I'm almost there. I knew this was going to be a problem. Well, we'll just go ahead and kill those barbarians. Congratulations. We lost. We didn't even lose a full cohort. Alright, we gotta get... We're gonna declare war very, very quickly. Go back down to speed 3. Oh my goodness. That march through the desert was brutal. 423 cohorts. I mean, that's still good, but... we gotta get food immediately. So, they have 2 forts. But how many provinces? Alright, so we want to... I'm going to guess that this is probably the capital of that province. So, let's send you to here immediately. And we will try to capture that as fast as possible. Let's send you to here. We just need to restock everyone's food supplies. Yeah, everyone's taking that harsh attrition. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just raise this. We are now at war. Where are their province capitals? No, so it's down here. Alright. Let's put a general in charge of this army. Ooh, nice. Level 6 general, 6 marshal general. is he not loyal? Why can't I move him? Yeah, he is. Oh, are they stuck by this fort? Oh, no. Alright. New plan. We have to go around you now. Alright, so all my other little armies, the ones I've let just starve to death, we need to go around this fort. And in the meantime, I guess you have to go sit on that fort. Oh man, we lost 70 cohorts practically making that trek. It's alright, we're still okay. But man, was that kind of a bad move. I thought we'd be okay with the food situation, but apparently not at all. So we have to grab a hold of this province capital, which means I have to attack them. Alright, good. They're going to pull off. The reason we have to grab a hold of that province capital is because we need the food, and we need it bad. Yeah, we're going to lose like 70,000 men. Alright, and thankfully we are now restocking our food supplies. Good. That's all I have to say. Good. We're still going to be okay. We're still just fine. But it definitely helps to grab all this food. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it. That was a disastrous march. We lost almost 100 cohorts in that march. But it's going to be okay. We're going to slowly restock the food supplies. And we are going to be fine. It's just... Well, it's just, it was a long march. Feeling we're actually going to lose this fight. Let's, who are you from? You're from Rathia, which means your tech is the same as ours. We're going to move in some reinforcements to help, but we actually have no one... Alright, here's what I'm going to do. Let's go to show offices. We're going to dismiss you. We're going to place you in charge of this army. Now we at least have a general coming. Man, just all these food woes. Alright, so we did get here. Let's see what their army looks like. Oh my goodness, look at all those elephants. Oh, and they have another 15,000 troops coming. We have another 13,000 troops. That might just be a bloodbath that we don't really want to be a part of. Oh man, all the food issues. Yeah, I'm not going to push them in. Let's go ahead and just retreat you people away. Let's go and just get you restocked on your food. We've had a new, alright, meeting of the clans. Looks like we have a new clan ruler. Alright. I guess that's okay. What we need, though, are more generals. These 4,000 men are going to come here to try to capture this province capital. In doing that, we're going to take control of some more food. We're looking good, looking good. We get a new military tradition. I guess that's good. Army attrition, minus 15%. Yes, please. Easiest one yet. And let's not even worry about... I'm just going to give you a general. You're pretty decent. Let's go ahead and raise everything. I don't want to forget to raise. Slowly but surely our food stores are coming back. And as long as they are coming back, we're going to be just fine. Grabbing this fort before this army runs out of food would be huge. I can just kind of cycle armies in and out. Armies that have food, I need to go ahead and just pull them out of some of these territories. Have you move this way. I'm just going to combine these armies together. Your food is about halfway up, so you're actually just going to go ahead and retreat. Actually, no. Let's keep holding you here. We're not taking any attrition anywhere right now. So we're going to be just fine. We're going to be just fine. Again, that march through that desert, it was very similar to Alexander's march through the desert from the Indus region, where he kind of the way I understand it, Alexander wanted to keep conquering, and then as punishment to his army for getting all upset and wanting to go back home, he was like, alright, well, we're going to go home, but I'm going to march you through one of the harshest deserts in the world. And they took just a ton of casualties making their way back towards, I guess, Babylon. And so I just kind of did the reverse, where I wasn't trying to punish my army. I just stupidly marched it through some of the harshest terrain in the world without enough food to survive. So we pushed our way into India, we did, but we definitely paid for it. In the end, we lost all 100 cohorts. 100 cohorts. We're going to gain them all back, but it's going to be a little bit tricky because of that just horrendous march. Again, though, we're going to gain them all back. I'm going to move these 17,000 men. Eventually, I would like to come back and take this city. The other city that really needs to fall is this one right here. Alright, so I have a feeling that these 50,000 troops are coming to here. They want to relieve this siege. This siege is not far enough along that I am all that worried about maintaining it, so I am going to go ahead and retreat. Oh, and they're not even... Alright. Well. Never mind then. We're gonna move, honestly, too many men into this fray. Do I have a general who can maybe help us hold out for a little bit? Alright. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy, indeed. Alright, so they are using the bottleneck tactic. We can counter that. Oh, it'll have to be you who counters it. All of these should be put at skirmishing anyway. The fact that I haven't done that is not great. Just into the meat grinder, my fellows. Into the meat grinder. Oh, and that's still not even going to help. They're going to win before we can get there. I think we'll be able to just destroy them with numbers. Who's this really good general? Is it you? No. Is it you? Yeah. You need to go to skirmishing. Oh my goodness. We've lost so many men. Alright, come on, get there in time. Oh my gosh, we lost that. We lost 32,000 men. We're at least going to win this fight, but dang, at what cost? At what cost? And while I was too busy focusing... Oh my gosh, at what cost? Oh man. Alright, so let's look at our food supplies real quick. We might need to actually... Alright, so yeah, we're going to win that. We again lost 8,000 men, which is 8 cohorts for us. Like, our army is melting away. Alright, so... what's our food situation looking like? It's not looking terrible. We're going to get out of Dodge. We're going to come down here. This may not be the strategy, but it's what we're going to do. We are going to run away. It's okay to lose a fight every now and again, as long as we run away. This army needs to be broken up, honestly. So let's just stop it. Split it in half. One's gonna go that way. One's gonna stay there. This army needs to be broken up as well. Oh, you start out with no food? Oh my gosh. Well, we can at least raise. So I am going to sit, and these couple armies that are without food, I'm going to just have them sit where they are. We're gonna try to play this smart. If you have food, you move on. If not... Like, you have enough food. You move on to Sri Lanka, the promised land. These 5,000 men, you have food, you move on. Alright, so these 36,000 men, you have food, you move on. Alright, so let's recap from this episode. We suffered some... Well, we had a victory. You are gaining food, you stay. You are gaining food, you stay. Well, one of you's going to stay over here. We had a victory in the Seleucid Empire, and we pretty much crushed the Seleucid Empire, but did Babylonia just emerge? Good for Babylon. So we pretty much crushed the Seleucid Empire, and then we really crushed ourselves with attrition through this desert. That was on me. That was on me. I got a little impatient, I will admit. You have food, you move on. I got a little impatient, so that's my fault. I then realized that, oh, I was almost completely out of food. So we decided to declare this little war just to grab food. That turned out to be not a disaster, but we definitely lost a bunch of cohorts fighting this fight as well. We now have... Alright, so in the span of the last like 30 minutes, we've lost 200 cohorts. We're going to gain them all back, but we're going to have to do this a little bit more diplomatically. Specifically, we're going to have to focus on taking down people who don't have any allies, like these people down here in Sri Lanka. They don't have any allies. They only have 22 cohorts to their name, but they have 285 pops. So we are going to probably fight a few wars here in Sri Lanka. I don't anticipate there being any territory left in Sri Lanka when we are done with it. And yeah, so aside from that, we're going to try to play this a little bit smarter. We will come back to Boyja. We will destroy them, because I'm mad at them now. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say that you have enough food to move on. You have enough food to move on. And I'll let you wait for just a little while longer. Oh good, I have people in charge, so, or people to make generals out of, so give me a general. Alright, and once this province capital falls, I won't have any more, I won't be gaining any more food. Which unfortunately means that this army as well will have enough food to go ahead and move onwards. Alright, so we have just done the, well, tried and true strategy of running away. We got out of there. We're going to lose this war, but you know what? Who cares if we lose a war when we don't have any territory to give up? And I think with one victory and one just crushing defeat, really two crushing defeats if you count the desert, which was a huge mistake on my part. Whoopsie daisy. It'll be alright though. We went from having almost 500 cohorts to having about 320 cohorts. We did not exactly handle that march through the desert correctly or well. We will have to take an alternate route when we move back towards Rome, because we are going to head back towards, eventually, maybe we'll go on this like rampage across the world and then resettle back in Germany. Wouldn't that be fun? Either way, I think that's where I'm unfortunately going to have to call the episode quits for today. I've been going for over an hour, just over an hour. And, well, that's a long one. So, tune in next time to see if my little ranging horde of restless Germans is able to win their fight in Sri Lanka. It should be... I'm anticipating the next episode being at least one, maybe two wars in Sri Lanka. We are going to need to capture almost all of those 295 pops. Let's go ahead and grab that omen for morale of armies. And that is unfortunately where I'm going to go ahead and have to end it for today. I'm having a ton of fun playing as a migratory horde, a full migratory horde. You can see just the wake of destruction we have left in our path. And hopefully we will continue to do that in India. If you are enjoying watching me play as a migratory horde, or if you are playing as a migratory horde, a full migratory horde yourself, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will definitely catch you on the next one.